So I'm here to talk about Harry Potter Hogwarts Tournament of Houses. So if you guys don't know, it's the house competition that's coming out soon, or is already out depending on when I upload these videos. But I just wanted to talk about my experiences with the show and like how I don't know, I guess how I went through the casting process, how I found out about the casting, and just my general experience going through the show. Back in April, they were doing open casting calls for the Harry Potter quiz show, and I saw it on the Wizarding World's website as like a post, and I decided to fill it out because why not? Let's try it out. What's there to lose, right? So I filled it out and I spent days. Answering the questions. It was probably like maybe several questions, and obviously I wanted to answer them well because I wanted to get someone's attention, right? So I spent like a couple days working on my answers, and it was things like, what's your Hogwarts house? Who's your favorite character? How did you get introduced to Harry Potter? Things like that, you know? So easy things, but you know, and it depends what kind of impression you make on people, right? Is what's gonna get you noticed or not. So I worked on this application for days, and I turned it in, submitted it. There was a section to upload photos and videos and things like that, and all I did was I just uploaded the existing photos and videos that I already had. And you know, like it wasn't hard to find all of these things. It wasn't hard to answer these questions because it just came so naturally and so easy to me. But I wanted to get noticed, right? So I had to spice it up. So I had to give it some pizzazz, right? So anyways, so I worked on the application for a couple days, submitted it. I was like, nobody's gonna call me back. Like there's gonna be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that's gonna apply for this, and there's no way I'm gonna get called back. Like why would they call me? So I think it was like maybe a day or two later, someone called me. And I got the call, and like it was an unknown number, and then I answered unknown numbers. So then I answered it. Well, no, I didn't answer it. So they left a voicemail, and she was like, this is so-and-so from Harry Potter quiz show. We got your application. Just wanted to talk to you and blah 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 blah. And I was so nervous. Oh my god, I can't even express how nervous I was for this phone call. And I just wasn't expecting someone to call me back. What makes someone the biggest Harry Potter fan? Like there's not... How do you stand out? How do you stand out from the crowd of Harry Potter fans? There's tons of us. There's a lot of us. And I don't think there's a measure of like who's a bigger Harry Potter fan or not, right? But it's about getting noticed. There's someone specific noticing you. So she called me, left a message, and I was just like, oh my god, I have to call her back. I was so nervous. So like after I like freaked out, calmed myself down, I called her back, and she was just like, hey, I just wanted to talk to you about your application. We got your application, and we wanted to see, you know, like I guess they just wanted to see my personality over the phone, right? So she basically asked about me. I was basically reiterating all the things I had put on the online application over the phone to someone, talking to them about my life, about Harry Potter, how much I love Harry Potter, things like that. And then we went through like a 20 question quiz or something like that, and I was just so hyped. Like my adrenaline was so high for this thing that like it's kind of embarrassing because I got some of the questions wrong because I was just like at such this high that I was just like answering these questions before I even thought about it. And then like if I had given myself a second, like I would have known the answer, because obviously like the answer is like second nature to me, and I would have known it had I like listened to the whole question. But I answered before I even heard the whole question, and it was just like anyways. So anyways, at the end of the call, she tells me like, hey, yeah, we want to set up a video interview with our producer. And I'm like, oh my god, like no way, like no, this is not happening. Like, how is this happening? How is this happening? Like, I just, like, I just couldn't believe it. So I get set up with a video interview with one of the producers at a like couple days later, and I get told to show off my Harry Potter bookshelves, so that, you know, like I can't wear anything Harry Potter, but to wear something that like I would wear on like a normal basis, something that like shows my personality. So I didn't wear anything that was Harry Potter. I wore my green velvet dress, which like I love my green velvet dress. And they said that I could do it in front of my bookshelves. So I did it in front of my bookshelves, and they said to be like camera ready because they were going to record the video interview. And I was like, okay, oh my god, I'm nervous again. So we did the video interview with her, and it was just the same, pretty much the same thing. It was like reiterating like how much I love Harry Potter, how, you know, like about my collection, about all the things that I do when it comes to Harry Potter. You know, like it was easy to answer these questions because they were about me. And again, we went through another round of like trivia questions, and again I was nervous and way too excited that I did get some of them wrong, which like kind of frustrates me that I got some of them wrong because I knew some of the answers. But anyways, that's not the point, right? Basically the video interview was to see like how I would be on camera. So like I was told to like, you know, like be excited when like I get something right, or be sad when I got something wrong, or talk myself through an answer if I was unsure of an answer, because that's the kind of stuff that they want on camera, right? So it was a little bit hard to get used to that in the very beginning, but in the end it was okay. It was okay. And and then after the video interview, I get told that they want to move forward again with my application. And then I have to send in, well, they said that they want to move forward again with my application, and that they're gonna email me. So the email comes in, and I get told to email photos, videos of what I do, my life, Harry Potter things, you know, all kinds of things, just like anything and everything about me. And like I have tons of it, right? Like I have spent the last few years like traveling the world to do Harry Potter things, and I have tons of photos and videos doing Harry Potter things. Well, at first it was just like email like 15 photos of this, 15 videos of this, 15 blah 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 blah, you know, it was just like a checklist. And I was like, okay, so I really have to like narrow things down. So I narrowed it down to like my favorite things, my best things, and I emailed it off, because they were gonna work on my they were gonna take the video that we recorded on the video interview, cut it with my photos and pictures and videos that I had sent in, to do like a presentation for the I guess for the like executives of the show, to see like who they want to bring on to the show at the end, right? So it was like week after week, and it was just like a couple weeks went by, they were still working on my video, and then another week went by and they asked for more photos and videos, and then another, like, and then they just kept asking for more things and more things and more things, and I was just like more than happy to oblige, because I have all the content to give them, and I have all these things that I would love to send them. So I kept sending them photos and videos. And then they had like another video interview, and I had to record things, and they wanted me to, like, it's so funny. So like in my application, I had said something like, you know, like, do I have the biggest collection? Like, does that make me the biggest Harry Potter fan? Like, no, like I don't have the biggest collection. Like, there's no way to measure how big of a fan someone is, right? A collection, the things that you've done, the amount of times you've read the books, the amount of times you watch the movies. There's no way to measure how big of a fan someone is. Like, it just, you know, as I listen to all these things, like, can I say that I love Harry Potter? Like, for sure. Like, I love Harry Potter. I know how much I love Harry Potter. This is how much I love Harry Potter. And let me show you. So I showed them how much I love Harry Potter, and then I had said at the end of it, like, you know, like maybe I can be considered like Hawaii's biggest Harry Potter fan. Which, like, I just kind of like put that in there. I was like, oh, whatever, you know, like I didn't even think twice about it. And then in the first video interview, they were like, can you say this? Do you have put this in your application? Can you say it so we can record it? And I was like, okay. And I thought it was so funny that of all the things that I had said within the application, that's what they wanted me to say. So I said it. I was like, my name is Nicole, I'm from Hawaii, and I am Hawaii's biggest Harry Potter fan. So I had done that. They called me back, they wanted me to do like re-recordings of some things, and she was just like, it's good that they're asking for specific things, it means that they like you, and you know, blah 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 blah. Week after week, like, it's just like, hey, you made it to the next round, hey, you made it to the next round. Or like, I would see people starting to get like rejection emails like online, and I was just like, oh my god, I don't want the day to come, I don't want the day to come where I get the rejection email. So it was just like week after week, I just kept making it closer and closer and closer. I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is nuts. And then like I had gotten, you know, an email to do like to sign contracts. I signed the contract, and then I had gotten another email to do a background check, and I was just like, oh my god, like it's like I'm still moving closer and closer and closer. And then the background check was just like so intense. That was like the most intense background check that I've ever had to fill out or do. It was probably like 15 pages. It was like asking for things like, you know, all the normal things, right? Like social media, name, job, school, blah 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 blah, addresses, things like that. But it was also asking for things like like past relationships, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, do I have to put this on like that? Please don't contact them. But I had to like put their names on there because I wasn't gonna let that get in the way of me not getting on the show. I have no idea if they ever contacted them or not, because I don't have their contact information, so I don't know how they would have gotten in contact with them. But anyways, things sent the background check off, and like again, week after week it kept going, and I was just like making it closer and closer to the filming dates, and I was just like, oh my gosh, it's like 3 weeks from filming dates, like, and I haven't officially heard anything yet. Like, did I get it? Did I not get it? I don't know. So then we end up getting an email that's just like, oh, we pushed the filming dates back. Are you still in? And I'm like, oh yeah, I'm still in. Like, I've invested so much time into this. Like, I am in. No matter what I have to do, I am in. Like, no matter what date you change it to, I'm in. I'm in. So they changed the filming dates to like, they pushed it 4 weeks, and then like another couple weeks went by and nothing happened. I was like, oh my god, I'm like getting really nervous now, because like it's getting up to the point of like filming dates and I haven't heard anything. And then it was about like 3 or 4 weeks before the show actually filmed that I heard that I didn't get it, and it was pretty sad about it. Fuck. Jesus, why do I always get emotional when I think about this? I'm not even an emotional person. yeah, so I ended up getting that dreaded email that said I didn't make it, I didn't move on. Oh well, so I also found out how close I had gotten, because they required everybody to be vaccinated to be considered for the show, and at that point I wasn't vaccinated because it's complicated. I have like complicated medical history and I was unsure of it at the time, right? And my doctors were also kind of unsure of me getting the COVID vaccine at the time too, so it was a lot to think about. And honestly, like, when I called my doctor to talk it over about whether I should get the COVID vaccine or not, she was just like, you know, in life we have to juggle the things, right? Like, what do we want to risk in return for the things we want to do? Which she had no idea, like, the reason why I wanted to get the vaccine, you know, why I was calling to get the vaccine. She had no idea what I was doing or why I was even, like, considering it. It was because I was trying to get on the Harry Potter show, right? So, you know, she was just like, does the risk outweigh the benefit of living your life? You know, like, we have to weigh the pros and cons of whatever it may be, right? She didn't want to say, like, you should get the vaccine or you shouldn't get the vaccine. Like, she thinks everybody should get the vaccine, but in my case, it was ultimately up to me to decide if I was going to get the vaccine or not. And honestly, I just needed a reassurance from my doctor to tell me, like, it was going to be okay, right? I was going to be okay, because I have a complicated medical history. And she basically gave me that. Like, she basically gave me the reassurance that it was going to be okay. Because honestly, I would have gotten the vaccine to get onto the show regardless. Like, that's how much I wanted to get onto the show. Like, that's how much I was willing to risk to get onto the show. And, you know, like, at the time, it was just like, you need to get vaccinated now to be fully vaccinated by the time the show films. So this was before I got the rejection email, right? And I was like, okay. So it was like maybe 8 weeks before, like, actual filming dates, and, you know, I'm talking to, like, the Harry Potter show people, and I'm like, you know, I'm trying to weigh my options about getting the vaccine or not, and it's just a little bit more complicated. It's just a little bit more complicated for me than it is for someone else or for a normal person. So I just kind of want to gauge, like, I know there's no way for you to tell me or, you know, like, say anything at all, like, but I just kind of want to gauge how close I am to getting onto the show. Like, is it worth it, you know, for me to get this vaccine? Like, what are my chances of actually getting onto the show if I get this vaccine? And, you know, they were like, well, you may, like, out of hundreds and hundreds of people, you are in the top 40, so in the top 10 of the Slytherins. And I was like, oh, okay, bet, check, I will get the vaccine. So I got vaccinated, got my second shot, got vaccinated. By the time the show filmed, I was fully vaccinated. Everybody was vaccinated at the show, and that was kind of cool. And, like, that was not as scary, because, like, it was scary for me to have to go to this thing, like, back to back with people. We're all wearing masks though, but, you know, like, no, I'm not, right? Like, I don't want to come home with COVID, you know? Like, I don't want to come home sick. I don't want to get sick. I don't want to, whatever, right? So it was nice to know that the whole audience was vaccinated, and everybody in that building was vaccinated, and everybody was wearing their mask, and all these protocols were being taken for everyone's safety. So that was nice and reassuring and comforting. But anyways, so fast forward to getting that rejection email. Yeah, I got the rejection email, and I still couldn't really tell anybody about it, and it was just, like, really sad for me. Like, at the time I wasn't as sad as I am about it now. At the time I was more so angry, because I don't know, like, I feel like So like one of the questions was, you know, would you need any accommodations on set? And because I am legally blind, I do need accommodations. Like things aren't always so easy for me to navigate. And is that a negative towards me? You know, is that something that doesn't benefit me? Is that something that, you know, someone would look at that and be like, oh, too much of a hassle, like it's not worth it, you know? Like that's what was going through my head. Because as fucked up as it is, I can't say it wouldn't have crossed my mind if I was in the opposite position. I know. So I kind of wish I never said that I was disabled or blind or anything like that, because if I don't tell anybody, you know, no one's none the wiser, and I can kind of fake it until I need to do something, right? I got rejected from the show and I couldn't let it go. I could not let it go. And it was just like, oh well, so what happened was I got rejected from the show and I had asked to come to be in the audience, and they were doing video interviews for people in the audience as well. And I was like, whoa, like that's insane that they're doing video interviews for people in the audience as well. So like there was this vetting process of people being in the audience as well, and I was like, well, can I be in the audience? Can I sit in the audience? Can I at least be in the audience if like I didn't make it on the show? Can me and my two sisters come into the show and be in the audience? And they said yeah. I was just like, okay, that's cool, like that's really, really exciting. And if I had removed myself from the situation, right, if I had taken out all of those other things, I would have been so excited to have attended the show. But I felt a little bit jaded at the same time. I just couldn't help feeling like I still messed up, or that I missed out, or you know, whatever it was. And at that point, you know, it was just like, well, I'm gonna be there anyway. And I still couldn't let it go. So I emailed the Harry Potter show, and I was just like, hey, you guys happen to still need me, I'll be around in California. I was just like, Jesus Christ, what a fucking Slytherin thing to do, right? And I was just like, I just couldn't let it go. So I did that, and they were just like, yeah, sorry, no, we're good, that's not gonna happen, thanks though. And I was like, okay, I'll see you guys at the show in the audience. But yeah, that was my experience with the Harry Potter Hogwarts Tournament of Houses TV show. It's going to be premiering on TBS and Cartoon Network, streaming on HBO Max later on, or in 2022. If you've seen it, let me know what you thought.